a sad fate for the Miata. Just kidding, guys. This is a different Miata that I bought specifically for parts. So, still kind of sad that I took it apart. But in the end, it's not the Miata that I was working on before. That Miata is actually driving and running, but right now it's at paint. So I'm going to show you guys the whole process of getting it from sitting in my front yard to driving. Okay, guys. So, we got Boggin here. We got Daniel here. What we're going to do today is put this car on these stands and try to get that transmission in. We're doing this at night because we're not too smart. So all we're gonna do today is we have the transmission back there, we have the drivetrain, and we have the differential because I'm pretty sure we messed it up during transport. So what we're going to have to do is lift the car up and take the old one out, put the new one in. Shouldn't be too hard, probably gonna be harder than that. Valeu. This muffler doesn't want to come off, and we can't reach those bolts down there. This exhaust isn't necessarily stock, which is fun. Oh wait, I think it's up here. And they welded that. So I'm about to have to cut that so we can actually take it off, because I'm pretty sure we're supposed to be able to unbolt that. I don't know how much I showed of taking the manifold off, but I did. What I had to do was I had to actually cut this part off because they welded the whole thing together. They did this terribly. As you can see, absolutely, I probably need to buy probably just this part, or I can find a connector somehow and do it like actually how it's supposed to be done instead of this. So I had to cut that off so I could pull this a little bit higher because we couldn't reach the bolts on the bottom or on the top. So I had to pull it up a couple inches. I did it on my own, so I couldn't really get any videos. I think I found out what the issue is. That's pretty cool. In the last video, I ended up taking off most of the bolts for the transmission, taking off the... Why, hello there. I film with you. So I've taken off most of the bolts for the transmission. There's only one left, and it's at the very top. Plan for today is to drop the transmission and to get the differential out so that I can get the differential back in. Hello, Sam. So it's been a little while. As you can tell, it's starting to get dark. But I finally got that last bolt out. Hopefully it's the last bolt. And now I need to push the transmission out. Just a quick PSA, I ended up taking apart the differential, and as you can see, that's really broken up. Oh no, I just passed it. Right there. Yeah, bit of the diff is gone. This is what happens when you put a rear-wheel drive car on a dolly with the front wheels. So yeah, don't do that. Well guys, it's been a bit of time since that last recording, and I kind of realized that I lost most of my footage, so I want to give you guys a brief just explanation of what happened since then. So like you can see, this pedal is a lot wider. You need to get a clutch pedal for sure, and or the entire assembly, and you can just get away with getting just the pedal, because what I ended up doing, which was a lot easier, is up on the top of the pedal. I can't even show because I would need light, but on the top of the pedal there's a pin. I pulled the pin out, dropped this pedal and replaced it with a manual pedal, and then I put it in the clutch, and I'll show you what it looks like on a manual. So here's what it looks like on a manual. Here's the clutch, here's the brake. Besides that, it's a lot easier. If you're going to be doing anything with the dashboard, just take that out. It'll make your life a lot easier. I ended up not doing that. You can do it without taking the dashboard out, but you won't be able to take out the whole brake assembly. You'll be able to only take the brake pedal out, which is what I ended up doing, and it could actually end up saving you a little money to do it from the junkyard. So then I had to put in the clutch. I think that's the master. I don't remember for sure. And there is just a plate blocking this off, and then wiring that in, bleeding the clutch, and then it ran. Now that I remember, it didn't run right away. There is some wiring. You can't see it from here, but the wiring that you have to do, I'll link the page to where it shows you how to do all the wiring. It's really easy. All you do is cut a couple wires and solder in some new ones. I might as well show you guys this while I'm here. So these are the two wires for the neutral. You're going to have to cut this because this does not fit on the manual connectors. For the manual connectors, it's these two little things. I'll have to check later if polarity matters, but odds are it doesn't. And this is red and black and blue and black. So make sure that you get these two wires. You're gonna have to cut them, and then I'm going to use these connectors. So this should work. So these are the reverse lights. These are going to connect to the reverse sensor that is currently out of my car. It actually broke, so I'm going to need to buy another one. But this is the red and the green, and the black and the yellow. This is what I was connecting. This is the reverse sensor, and then this is the neutral sensor. These just clipped in because they go from automatic to manual without an issue. This one I had to wire it in, where I had to find the connectors, and then I taped them together just so there are no issues with that. So that was just a little overview of what I did for my swap. It wasn't really an in-depth explanation of anything. I hope I covered everything that I forgot about. And one thing I would say is, if you're doing this just like I did on Jack's, get the extensions. It's not worth it to try to crank it. I took me like 2 days just to get the bolts off, and I hated my life for it. So you're gonna need like 2 foot of extension, but you're also gonna want the attachment that allows the socket to move around freely, just in case. But besides that, it's not the worst thing in the world. Lining it up and everything like that, I didn't really have an issue. For now, that's just basically what I did.